Yo, what's going on, guys? In this video, we're doing an Anaximandre from HackMyVm. This is a box rated about medium. And yeah, let's get on to the video. So as always, I'm still spinning my terminals here. I'm still running a discover my star 10.0.0.1/24/IT0. Do this, so you can type in the box 10.0.0.28. So do Control Shift Z, so we're my scan. So do MMISSC for default scripts, MISSB for information, most kind of ports on the IP, we'll do MISB verbose. Look at the ports, we have 3 ports open here. Port 20 for SSH, port 8 for HTTP, and also port 873 for rsync. Some server visited port 80 here. Look at this, we do have a WordPress blog here, so I'm going to control use source code. I'll just confirm that this is running WordPress. I usually like doing Control F for WordPress. You'll see that you do have the WordPress version here for WordPress 6.1.1. Look at this, I'm going to start by doing some more enumeration, running GoBuster. So the GoBuster remote reminds you into the IP address. We'll do MISB for user share word lister buster. The buster directory list will be the medium.txt with extensions HTML, TXT, and also PHP. Looking back at that map scan, we do have a port 22 bin for SSH. This is Debian here. We do have a port 8 bin for HTTP running Apache, which we did see. On the source code, we do have WordPress 6.1.1. We also have port 873 bin for rsync. Looking back at the GoBuster, we do have a WP content, index.php, license.txt, WP login.php. Some servers using WP login.php. I'm going to start by enumerating for some users here. Does seem like, let me see if I can find a host name for this. So we do have a host name here, which I'm just going to copy link location, put that in there. Just copy the host, put this into, maybe into my /easy host. So we did have a 10.0.0.28. Some right quit. And we do have this, was it WP login.php. And we do have the username and password, right? Should it be rendered? So by default, like usually running testing for usernames and passwords. Just random pass with the username, which just show that this is valid on this WordPress blog. Since admin is incorrect, that means that the user admin is valid on the WordPress site, right? I'm also like testing for just random users. If this does have like, if it is blocking for try attempts, I usually go to lost your password and try for the username and try to get a new password, right? If it does send the password, that means that that user is valid on the WordPress site. We do know that we do have a user as a web admin. I'm going to start by doing some enumeration for this WordPress. So I'm just going to run, by default, like going to my documents, we'll go to, I believe we do have, was it WP scan? We'll do Ruby WP scan. And here we do have all options. So we have Ruby WP scan, we'll do minus URL. We'll do 10.0.0.28. We can enumerate for plugins, I believe users too, right? So do -e, or you can specify -e or minus enumerate. So in this case, we do want to enumerate for users, so I'll do -u. We do have the WordPress version here for 6.1.1. Also do have 2 users here for admin and also webmaster. So we do have a new user as webmaster. I'm going to start by running a, I'll do Ruby WP scan. I'm going to start by brute forcing for the user webmaster. So we do have the user for webmaster. Changes to user share wordless rocky.txt. We'll change the URL. HTTP 10.0.0.28. And we do have an unknown response for the login for webmaster and also the password for Mickey. So I'm guessing the passwords are going to be for Mickey for the user webmaster. So we do webmaster for the password Mickey, and we're able to log in. Look at this. We do have 2 comments here from the user admin from Hello World. I'm just going to go to edit. Delete confidential note by Friday. Also do have another comment here by seems by admin. I also do have a password. So I'm just going to copy this, put this into my notepad. Right now we do have this password here. So we can just keep that in mind. I'm going to copy this and try this for the user admin here. So do admin and try that for that. It doesn't seem like that was a password for admin. Looking back, we're going to start by looking into rsync here. So I'm just going to copy rsync. We'll go into hack tricks for rsync. Let's see how we can do this manually and automatically. Right now, I do know how to do this manually, so I do want to show you guys on how to do this automatically. There should be a module here, which you can use the use auxiliary module for rsync that does list out the modules for this. So I'll do Control Shift Z. I'm start up MSF console. We'll go to show options. We can set the R host, which is 10.0.0.28. We just run this. To get this, we did find one rsync module, which is for share rsync. Looking at this, we can start by doing this manually here. I'm just going to get my PWD so I can work inside this directory here. I'll do Control Shift Z. By default, we can start by using rsync, which will allow us to view those modules and also the files under that module. So in this case, we do have rsync. We can specify like a list all, I believe. Let's see what we do have over here. Yes, so we do have the AV list only. We can just list the share name, right? So I just wanted to copy this for list only. List only is going to allow us to just list the files under that share name. In this case, we did have the module for rsync, or for share sync. Also, do you have the IP address for 10.0.0.28? We have 10.0.0.28 for share sync. If you also did want to do this manually, what I just did, you can use rsync, which will put in the IP address, right? Just by putting in the IP address, which is going to be for our 10.0.0.28. Or maybe take off this rsync, specifying the 10.0.0.28, which is the IP address, 2 semicolons here, and this will give you the share sync, which you did to get here for share sync. And this gives us journal, right? Looking back, we can only list that. If we do want to put this in directory, I believe we can specify the share name followed by the directory. So I'll do mkdir for files, specify files here. We go to files, or let's take off this list only. We'll do -AV. We go to files. Now we do have an access.log CPT. So it does seem like this is crypt, I guess. CPT file doesn't let us. We can use ccrypt -d for access.log. And we do need a decryption key. Using that, we did have a password here. So I'm just going to try that password, which for this decryption key. And now we do have this access.log. So I'm just going to more into access.log. And we do have a lot of information here. I'm also going to do the same thing for, if we do ccrypt for, we'll do this for auth.log CPT. Or if I do -d, I'm just going to more into auth.log. It does seem like this is the log file. Right now I'm just looking at this, which we do have for login. Group add. There was a new group for new group added to /etc group. So new user was created for gshadow and also /etc group. We have the new user for MySQL, the name for MySQL, also a name for Chad. So we do have a user as Chad. His user ID is 1001. If I do check back to files, we do have this for Chad. The reason I have Chad is because I did create a user for Chad. If I do remove, if I delete user, if I do Chaz, if I do Alice Mysole, you'll see that now this is 1001. If you do, you can just use like a use add command for and specify like the user. Then that will give you the ID, right? So I'm just gonna cat this off the log. So do you have Chad here? So I'm just gonna more into this access.log. Look at this. I do want to look for any host name. Since we did have a host name available for us on the WordPress site, I do want to look for another host name under here. Or any of the subdirectories or directories under this under here. So it doesn't seem like we do have anything. We do have an LFI here for this example's coremirror.php for this page parameter. I'm just going to copy this, put this into, well, we do have, let's look at the GET request. This is going to this. Let's open this. We'll put this into our /etc host since this is a vhost that we can use for subdomains. So we'll go into my vnz /etc host. We'll just tab. So I'm just going to write, okay, we'll cat our /etc host. Put this in here, and now we do get this i3geo. I'm guessing this is a CMS. I'm not sure what this is, but we do have i3geo 6.0.1. I'm going to do control use source code. And we don't have anything. I'm going to start by running a GoBuster here. Doing some more enumeration. We'll go buster during mode -u into the IP address. We'll take this off here. We'll do -w for user share world list buster. The buster directory list to be the medium.txt with extensions HTML, TXT, and also PHP. So we do have a /admin here, which I'm going to be checking. And we do have a login page here. We only have 3 attempts here, which we can try for admin. Before doing that, I do want to check that, I go back over here, if you see into files, we did have this access.log. It does seem like there's an LFI for Etsy password here. For the /etc password. So doing this, we do have an LFI here, which we do have, we can check bin/bash. We do have 2 users for Chaz and also root. Look at this, I'm going to be looking into this LFI that we do have. I'm going to be checking to var html. We did have that wp-config.php for WordPress, which doesn't seem like we can get this wp-config.php. So I'm just going to go to payload all the things and go to this LFI here. So we'll go under file inclusion, PHP. I'm going to be getting this PHP filter here, which is going to be for, it's going to base64 encode this and allow us to get that PHP file. So if I put this under here, if I do /etc password, you'll see that I do get this in base64. If I go to CyberChef, we'll put this from base64. Now you get the /etc password. We do have the user as Chaz and also root. So I'm going to do the same thing for that config.php. So we're going to var HTML. I'm going to get into this config.php. We do have a wp config actually. You can copy this, put this in here, and now we get the wp config file, right? So we do have user as admin, also this password. Before trying anything, we do have WordPress here, which I'm going to be trying for admin. And it doesn't seem like that is the password for WordPress. This is going to be for MySQL, I'm guessing. But I usually always like trying for users, also the user for WordPress, and also for MySQL. But most likely this is going to be based off MySQL since it is the DB password, and also the DB user. Like at this, we do have this LFI here. I'm going to be checking for some users here. So I'm just going to go under /home. We do have the users Chaz. I'm going to be checking for .sh. We'll go into ID_sa. Doesn't seem like we do have anything. I'm also going to check for a bash_history. See if we do have any passwords over there. And we don't have anything. Next thing I'm going to start by doing is just checking for a RFI, which is a remote file inclusion. This lets us get files from our server and allows us to execute it. So what I'm doing is going to do HTTP 10.0.069. I'm going to be testing for like a file.txt if it does grab that file. So I'm going to cd back. I'm gonna start by touching it like a file.txt. Also do like a python 3 minus m http.server from port 81. So now we do have our Python server on here. Doing this, if we do specify our IP address on file.txt, we press enter on this, you get a get request. So that means this is our R file, which allows us to execute code on here or execute that file. So instead of getting this file.txt, I'm going to be getting a PHP reverse shell. So let's go to PHP reverse shell. So I'm going to go to PHP reverse shell, go to raw data. So I'm just going to get this. I'm going to be into my PHP reverse shell. So I'm changing my IP address, which we have for 10.0.0, 10.0.069. We'll change the port to 9001. So we'll count my PHP reverse shell, head this out. Now we do have my IP address and also my port. So I'm going to start up that Python server that we did have. I'm just going to do my listener. So we'll do all that and I count my solid VP on 9001. So all we're going to be doing is we do have this Python server that's going to get our file, execute it, which is going to call us back, get a call back on 9001. Before doing that, I do want to go back. I'll start with my listener. We do want to get the file name. Put this in there. You do see that I do get a get request for this PHP reverse shell.php. It was executed. We do ID. And now we're under www.data. So I'm going to start by exporting my term is equal to xterm. I'm going to start running a bin / bash minus I. I'm going to start betting some enumeration. I'm going to go under /opt. We do have a test here. So I'm going to cat this test. We do get a permission 9. I'm going to go under var www. We do especially. We do have a wp config.php. So I'm going to cat this out. We'll grep for user. Grab minus I for, we'll just do pass because this should give us the password, right? We'll do alice mycely under /home. We'll switch user Chaz. We do ID. And it doesn't seem like that password works. Next thing I'm gonna start by doing is checking under /etc. Checking under /etc, we did have the port open for rsync. Rsync does allow us to get, doing some just manual information. We did have a password under there. So we do have this rsync.auth. Get this out. We do have the password for Chaz. I'm gonna switch user Chaz. We do ID. And now order Chaz. So I'm SSH into Chaz at 10.0.028. We do ID. And now under user Chaz. So I'm starting running a sudo myself. Look at this. We do have user bin cat for home Chaz. This little star that we do have, that means it's going to cat out each single file under home Chaz. Under our home directory, if we do pwd, we are under /home Chaz. It's going to be catting out this user.txt. So do sudo -u, run this as root /bin user bin cat for home Chaz. You do see that we did get the user flag, cat this user flag, and it does match for F1, also F1. So look at this. Then the bad thing about this is, since it is executing every file, we can actually run a symlink on here. A symlink allows you to basically, if you run a symlink on like a file.txt, that means it's going to redirect to like a binary or another file to execute. So what if we can just make our own file? So I'm just going to touch like file.txt and run a symlink on that file.txt to run, for example, or to cat out. In this case, we do have the binary to cat out. So it's going to cat out that it can be like a bash. I don't know. You wouldn't want to cat out bash, but we can cat out private keys or like the root.txt, right? So I'm just going to try to cat out the ID underscore say for root, which should be under root .sh ID underscore RSA, right? So let's start by doing that. So we do have this file.txt. I'm going to start running a sudo mycel. I'm going to run ln -s for the symlink. In this case, we do want to go under /root. We do have .sh. We'll do ID underscore RSA. That's where you want this symlink to go. In this case, we do have home, Chaz, and the file.txt, right? Which we want the symlink. So do file.txt. Or we can remove this file.txt. Now we do have this file.txt, and you see that the symlink is now to root.sh id_c. So when it does cat out, since it is using cat, instead of catting out this file.txt, it's going to do a symlink redirect to root.sh id_c. So do sudo myself. So do sudo, run this as root for user being cat. Now we do have the private key for root. Same vi to id_c, put this in here. We'll do chmod 600 for id_c. We'll SSH into root at 127.0.0.1. We'll do my site for id_c. We'll do else my site cat root.txt. Well guys, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.